Hello, my loves. How are you? I hope that you are well, blessed. I'm feeling highly favored with full bellies, comfy beds, and at peace within yourself, within your soul, with wherever you are in life. Um, okay, so today I wanted to talk about limerence. It's something that I didn't really know about until recently. Like, I've heard about it, but I didn't really know exactly what it was. And late last week, I came across a video of like a counselor, and she was talking about limerence, and she said, her video is like, no, I don't experience limerence, and then it was like experiencing it, like having obsessive thoughts about someone, or like sexual fantasies about someone, or uh, weirdly obsessing about them, or just like picturing your life together, and these like things that happen, right? So, um, during the video, I just kept, it just was making me think about, that's like when someone's like psychically manifesting you. That's when someone's pulling on your energy. That's not always, that's not me, because I had been struggling with that for a little bit, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? And I thought like like it really tripped me out, bro. And I was like, no, this is not, like, if you know yourself, if you know your energy, and if you're like I don't know, like more balanced and confident. And I don't want to say like I'm on point all the time, but I do know myself, and I don't typically like daydream about people or fantasize or things like that. Like, I have goals and dreams, but it's not that kind of stuff. It's very, that's very like lustful and energy draining and not for me. Like, I'm very much loyal and like, I don't know, like, I'm just loyal to myself at this point in time. And so I didn't really know what the heck was going on, because um I had not experienced this in so long that I kind of forgot about it. And there was a period of time, like before my spiritual psychosis, that I was like dealing with this kind of stuff all the time, and I didn't understand what the heck was going on. And it's like really draining, and it would be like irritating. So one way that you can know that it's like a psychic pull and manipulation instead of like a true connection is that, like, it's like you don't really know them, you don't have that home type of feeling, and you kind of just wake up one morning and have this like obsessive thoughts, or you keep getting like visions in your mind, like there's like it's very irritating, because I would just be doing random things, and I'd be getting like these crazy things in my brain, and I'm like, this is wild. So it took me a little while to get out of it, because I kind of like I phase in and out of my routines, and so I'm working on getting that consistency up and getting back to my highest version of myself. And so within that, I am also like knocking out all the psychic, all the energy drainers, all the nonsense. So when you are like a sensitive soul, you typically have like you have a stronger connection to spirit. You have a um, stronger energy. You have the capability to be like, we all have the capability to be our highest self. We all have the capability and possibility to clear out our energy and become high vibing and all of that, right? All that plays into that love and light. But not everyone is willing to do the work. It's a lot easier for people, especially people who don't want to heal themselves, to pull on other people's energy, to just really take up all of your time, to warp your mind, to and the thing is, a lot of people don't even recognize that they're doing it. So you like, it's really crazy. So you will end up becoming like insanely drained. Like, that's kind of what happened to me, and I just had to take like a break from life, because I was so physically drained, and I didn't really understand. I'm like, why does this keep coming up, like get out of my brain. So something that you can do to kind of combat that is to call back your energy. And it's really just, you can say the person's name, you can say anyone, you can say everyone, you can say, I call back all my energy from blank. But what I typically say is I call my energy from every person, place, and thing, time, space, dimension, healed, holds, and um, transmuted, blessed and transmuted, with grace, with gratitude, with love and appreciation for the lessons learned. And then also you want to return their energy back, because when they're pulling on your energy, it's naturally like it puts them in your brain, and so like you're like connected, and there's like soul ties that happened as well. So you want to also like say, I return their energy back to them, whole and healed, transmuted and blessed, and with gratitude, appreciation, acceptance for the lessons learned. You don't have to say all that extra. It's just what I say. You can kind of maneuver it however you want, but I would suggest definitely calling back your energy, returning their energy, whole and healed, and blessed and transmuted, and also do a meditation to cut soul ties. So if you've never done one like that, it's pretty easy. You kind of just like do like a regular clearing, and you can imagine that person in front of you. You can visualize the different energy cords, and you can have it through all your different chakras. You can have one big cord. You can have, however it plays out in your mind, and trust whatever is coming up in your mind's eye, because typically whatever is coming to you is truth. It is your truth, and that is like your guides are assisting you in healing and cutting these cords. So you can ask Archangel Michael to cut the cords. You can imagine like giant scissors and cut them. You can imagine them like being ripped and torn. You can, also like when they're cut, imagine that they are being like sucked back into you and sucked back into the person, and they are like healing. And always give thanks, because even if it's just like a one-time meeting type of situation, there's lessons to be learned. There's lessons to be learned in possibly protecting your energy and not allowing these people to drain you in those ways. So yeah, it's not always, it's not always like you needing to do work, you needing to have these things healed, or something wrong with you. Or when I was younger, I would struggle with like, what is my problem? Like, why can I not just not care about love? And I thought it was because I'm a Libra. I love love. I got like Libra sign Venus, and like all these different things. And our society is really like, especially for women, it's kind of like based around like romantic relationships, and making that special relationship seem like it's so much more important in our life than it really is. And yeah, it's important, and yeah, like husbands and your special person is important, but you essentially, like, you are your special person. You are supposed to be like the tops, like you and the divine, the creator, like that's where it's at. And if you don't have that like whole connection, if you don't have that like love and certainty within yourself, you do get pulled astray all the time. And it does get really draining, and it gets kind of like it upheavals in your life. And it stops us from doing the things that we are actually here to do. It stops us from being able to be fully present with ourselves, with our loved ones, with the goals that the divine has for us in our life. And it's to no fault of anyone. It is what it is. Like, some people do it intentionally to drain you, and you are so powerful. Like, you really are. And when people pull on your energy in those ways, like if you're upset, if you get into an argument with someone, you're crying or whatever, and then they're going to get that energy. Like, if they have demons attached to them, that demon's going to drain the heck out of you. Like, you are so much stronger than you know. And a lot of times when people are doing like energy manipulation and they are like pulling on you that way, it's like a chase, a runner chaser dynamic. And it can feel kind of like a twin flame dynamic, but it's not, because you wouldn't have like the upsetting situations. Like it wouldn't be like I love you, I hate you, or I love you or get away from me. It's like in the twin flames, like you always fully unconditionally love them. Even if, you guys are fighting, you have that love for this person, you still want the best for them. Whereas when someone is manipulating your energy and pulling on you in those ways, you can kind of get irritated, you get cranky. It's not quite the same, and it really does like pull you away from your center. So calling back your energy, taking spiritual baths is a beautiful one, spending time in nature, really just like resetting and setting those boundaries for yourself, recognizing that that person is not who they're portraying themselves to be in the spiritual. A lot of people try to do like 5D connections, like spiritual connections, where they will like try to do like spiritual intercourse or spiritual conversations, because they don't have the strength in the 3D to have that conversation face to face. And they want you to be like running to them. So they will pull on you and pull on you and pull on you. And, it can mess with you because you're just trying to live your life. And here you are getting like all these bombardments of like sexual stuff and like wanting to be with them, and like you don't even really want to be with them. So it can be kind of crazy sometimes. But yeah, just remember, like, it's not you. You're not always, it's not like always something that is wrong with you, right? Like, that was the thing I was saying. Like, I would think, like, there's something wrong with me that I am so focused on, like, love or these people, but I did not understand the spiritual dynamics of all these situations. So, if that's something that you're going through or have gone through, possibly something that you've gone through in the future or will go through in the future, just remember that you are so much stronger than you know. You have the capability to disconnect and cut those cords and come back to yourself in the most loving way. And, don't take it too hard, because it's life. People don't even always understand what they're doing. Sometimes they are just really like sad and miserable, or they just don't have the energy for themselves, and they like, once they get a taste of your high vibing energy, they fucking love it. Like, people go crazy. Like, I did not even understand, bro. Like, people get addicted, and it's so weird. Like, it will change who people are, it changes how they are with you. And you really have to be protective of who you mess with in those more intimate ways. And even just like with friendships, because friends can become really like jealous and controlling, and it's not healthy. But when you the more that you hone into your energy and your strength and like who you are, and just like having that time out from the world to really like reconnect with yourself, reconnect with spirit, you don't get pulled astray as much. You know what I'm saying? So it gets easier in time. Just be patient with yourself, be patient with the situation, and try not to be so hard on yourself if you are struggling with something like that, because it can literally make you feel crazy sometimes. So I have this book. It is Personal Power Through Awareness, that I'm reading little snippets of today. And when I was trying to find what I wanted to say for this video, I found a few. So says, love and accept who you are, not who you will be or should be. So a lot of times we don't feel that we deserve the love because we're not, at the place that we need to be in our lives, that we think that we need to be in. Or we haven't done the healing, or we haven't reached these certain goals. But you are you in all your mess and all your glory, and you deserve to be loved just as you are. And when you love yourself, flaws and all, you are more able to just like flow into who you're meant to be and who you're becoming. It's like an easier transition. And um, loving your flaws can be kind of tricky at times. It can be hard, especially like we are programmed in this world to like hate certain aspects of ourselves and sometimes our whole selves. But you you deserve to be loved and accepted, and everyone is messy. Every single person is messy. Like, we all have things that are beautiful about us, and we all have things that are not so beautiful. And when you learn to accept those parts of yourself and to realize that those not so great parts helped you be more well-rounded, more um understanding, more compassionate, more real. It's the fullness of who you are. And it's not always pretty, but life is not always pretty. But that doesn't mean that we can't find the beauty within the mess, right? um it says, ask, is what I want to be really appropriate to who I am, or is it something I was told I should be? So really get clear with yourself on the programs, expectations, and pictures of you that other people have, that society has, that media has. Are you playing into those stories and those roles, those characters that others have of you? Or are you allowing yourself to really live in acceptance and your own authentic truth? And how can you better move through your life to represent who you really are? Um, Yeah, a lot of what we think about ourselves, especially as we're growing up, is not who we really are, or how we need to be viewing ourselves. For me, I really hated so much of myself for so long, and it wasn't it wasn't real. It wasn't like anything that I needed to be doing. It wasn't even like when I really stepped back and accepted like who I am and why I am the way I am, and flaws and all, learning to love myself through all of that, despite the fact that I'm not anywhere close to where I think that I should be right now, or thought that I would be or should be. Just accepting that I am where I am, and it's beautiful despite missteps and mistakes. It's a very different world, and it's very freeing. And positive healing energy is always more powerful than negative, which, we know. You should know if you don't know. So just keep giving yourself that love, the positivity, and if there's flaws or things about yourself that you're struggling to accept and appreciate or love, even, try to like ask, like, how is this like helping me? How has this grown me? How has this helped me become the better version of myself? It says, see everyone as expanding and growing, and you will see yourself that way also. So everyone is a reflection of you, right? And the way that you view others, like, reflects how you view yourself. So if you are seeing people who are struggling in addictions or struggling with themselves, and you're judging them or being harsh with them, that most likely is a reflection of the fact that you're being harsh within yourself. You are denying yourself compassion and understanding and grace. And it's very much not what the divine would have for us. So the more that you practice seeing other people, and it's easier to see other people. Like, I've always been so much more capable of seeing the beauty in others before I could see it in myself. So practicing seeing that growth, the expansion, the wisdom, the lessons in the messes, and the blessings that come from those lessons, even if they are tragic, um just practicing that with other people allows you to more naturally see that within yourself. And you can ask your guides, help me to see how this is helping me grow. How can this help me expand? How can this help me to grow into my highest self? If you ask for guidance, trust the messages that come into your mind. A lot of times when we are learning to follow our intuition, learning to follow our spirit guides, our angels, our ancestors, it can be hard to fully trust it. It took me a long time. I fought so long, and it's like I didn't want to believe, but I did believe, but also I still questioned it. I still fought against the truth that I knew. And so that led me down all these little avenues of chaotic messes when in reality, like, the truth was there all along. I knew it the whole time. And so if you're asking for guidance, that information that comes to you, that is the truth of you for you. And everyone's different. The person next to you isn't going to get the same, isn't going to have the same question most of the time, and isn't going to be in the same place, and is most definitely not going to get the same answer. A lot of us, we do kind of at times link up with people who are on our same frequency, wavelength, our same consciousness at some different levels, but we are still all on our own little separate journeys. Like, it's all one, but all separate. So just trust the guidance that you are receiving, because that is for you. And when you trust in it, it allows you to flow so much easier through this life. It allows you to like maneuver, and like it saves you, dude, money, time, energy, heartbreak. Like, it's so much that you can, just not even get trapped up in. It says one, what? Some of you want to know your path for many months and years ahead, and yet, if you knew it, it would only be a probable form, and one that perhaps limits you. Some of you would become overwhelmed and find it hard to start. That actually happened to me, because I was like so low in a state. I was like suicidal at this point, and I had like asked God, I was like, show me who I'm supposed to be. Like, if you want me to keep going, like, I need to know. I need to know, like, that the truth. Like, I needed to know that I was like worth something, that I was here for a reason, and I didn't understand, and I didn't know like all the things about spirit that I was going through. All of, like, during my psychosis, I thought I was just going crazy. And so throughout periods of time after that, I was given visions and information that it did seem overwhelming. I didn't understand how I was supposed to get there, and a lot of that like stopped me from moving forward, from just taking the next step. Like, a lot of times we want to know all of the things. We want to know how it's going to play out. We want to know if this relationship is for us, if this job is for us, if we're making the right choices. But sometimes even just making the wrong choice gets you to the right choices. So just do what feels right in the moment. Do, the little bit by little bit. Trust in your guidance, trust in your inner knowing, and see yourself and others as expanding and growing into your highest version for the highest good of all. And that honestly will be the outcome in the end. The ability to make yourself right rather than wrong will help you grow faster. So a lot of us are programmed to be like negatively skewed, and we need to practice like affirming everything that we do, affirming in the positive, whether we understand why we're doing it or not, why we're being called, or why we have the urge to do certain things. Just to remind yourself that what you're feeling that you need to do is right for you. Perhaps, oh, okay. You have the wisdom if you listen to your inner self. You have an abundance of information coming to you right now. Perhaps one of the greatest challenges facing all of you is knowing what information to use and what information not to use. Information is flooding the planet. There are books to read, advice on what to eat, what not to eat, how to feel, how not to feel. I see a great deal of confusion at all these facts. Some of you feel that if you could force yourself to eat all the right foods, follow all the rules, and work on yourself constantly, you would be a perfect evolved person. The ego and the mind would like evolution to be structured and formulated, not so the soul. So that's something that I also struggle with. Like, I struggle with perfection so much. Like, I still have to like stop myself and be like, hey, like, it's chill. Like, you can't. For a long time I thought, like, if I do all these things right, I'm going to get to this place and I'm going to be this version of myself, and it's not going to be all this struggle. It's not going to be the confusion and the journey, but it is, the journey is the journey, you know, it's the life. It's the life that you're living is what you're meant to do in all the things that you do. Like, I know it sounds so stupid. Sounds so stupid. Sometimes we are so busy trying to learn this and trying to confirm things and trying to like make sure we're certain. Like, I spent so long not moving and just stagnating myself because I wanted to be sure of the answer. The more that I learn, the more that I go back and relearn, the more that it just confirms that everything that I initially was feeling and being urged to do and being guided to do was the right path for me. So just trust it. Just live it, just love it, just let it go, and don't stress too much about it. There's no one right way to evolve or pursue your soul's path. It is up to you to choose whatever is best for you. So as long as it's feeling good for you, as long as like you're feeling like passionate and good about where you're at and you're working towards like those positive loving feelings, all of that jazz, you'll be fine. You know, like if you're feeling a little unenthused with your goals and your and the work that you're doing right now, take a break from it. Do something else that sparks light in your heart and your soul, and allow yourself to just relax. Like, you don't have to push through and pursue all of these things all the time. Like, you can literally change at any moment. You can, you know, do what's best for you. It's not like what's best for the next person is not going to be the best situations and circumstances for you. And that's why every person's journey is different. Like, we all have our struggles and our traumas and dramas and blessings and lessons and soul contracts. But essentially, while we all deal with a lot of the same situations, we also, you know, deal with them very differently. It doesn't affect all of us in the same way. It doesn't evolve us in the same way. It doesn't devolve us in the same ways. So, learning to listen to your inner guidance, trust what feels right for you, and you will always be on the right path, even if it feels like you're lost and you don't know what you're doing, and the money's not coming in, or I don't have these things that other people have, and I've been doing this so long, and why is this not working out? It is working out. It really is working out. It doesn't always feel like that, but in time you'll see that you were right where you needed to be. If any area of your life is not working, one of your beliefs in that area needs to be changed. If any area of your life is not working, one of your beliefs in that area needs to be changed. Okay. It is time to either get a new map or revise the one you have. You cannot change it by forcing yourself, however. You can change it by calmly and firmly telling yourself that you intend to go higher and that you do not plan to get caught up in an argument or in the issues. It may sound simple, but this is all you need to do to start movement out of the conflict. Once you affirm that you intend to go higher, the universe will begin to show you the answers. So that's it. Like, you can just speak it into existence. You can ask the questions to, you know, show me the movements, or you know, even for real, like affirming it, I think is just like having that set intention, right? That's really it. And you're speaking it out, like, I'm going to move up, I'm going to move out of this, I'm going to let this go, I'm going to like release the stagnation. Another way to move out of denser negative energy is to be aware of the telepathic messages and emotions you send out, for they have the power to affect many people. Whatever you send out is what you draw back in. Take responsibility for the thoughts and emotions you send out, for they go out into the universe and create the events and circumstances that come back to you. Okay. Every thought you send out is magnetic because it creates and brings to you events, people, and things. It does so by resonating with those things you think of, and thus it determines what is drawn to you. You can assist mankind in achieving peace by involving your thoughts. Cool. And it says, you may not feel that one person can have that much effect on the overall energy of the planet, and yet one high healing thought can cancel out 10,000 or more negative ones. The higher the healing thought, the more lower ones that get canceled. It is not just yourself you are helping when you evolve your thoughts, but everyone around you. You do not even have to know them personally or be physically around them. It's like the quantum healing, the quantum ripples of change that we put out when we do the inner work to grow within ourselves, to evolve our life, to become our highest self. It really, truly does ripple out in such a magnificent way. And people are changed just from meeting you, and they don't even always understand or realize it, you know, and it's so wild, you know, it's beautiful. So keep going, keep striving for the best versions of yourself. Keep accepting and loving yourselves in all of your messy glory, in all of your not there yetness, because you really are right where you need to be. You're right on time. You're in divine alignment. You are on the path. You are always divinely guided, supported, and divinely loved. You know, we don't always understand where we are in life and why. Much of that comes in time, from distance, from getting out of the certain circumstances and scenarios and having that outside observant perspective, you know, from the higher place that we have reached. Then we can look back and say, oh, that was this, this, and this, and that got me here, you know? So that's pretty much it. I didn't plan on reading all of that. I did not plan on this being that long. It was supposed to be like super quick about like psychic manipulation and stuff, but you know, whatever. People pull on your energy. It happens. Just learn to call your energy back. Learn to clear your energy. Do meditations. Clean up your diet if that's something that's a struggle bus for you. And definitely spiritual bath. It's like a favorite of mine. Going out in nature and cutting those cords. Call your energy back. It's good practice to do that every day, every morning when you wake up from your naps or from sleep, because when we dream, our spiritual self goes and travels, and other people come to us and try to like get in our energy. And you know, it's just good practice to keep yourself clear and whole and centered. So take care.